This is Bob. He's like every other kid out there, a special snowflake of his own. Though he may be very shy, he tries his best to be social. Sometimes he gets teased by other kids because he might look and act a little different compared to his friends. You see, Bob's brain functions a little differently compared to other people. The Fragile X mental retardation 1 gene inside of Bob is always working very hard to make proteins called the Fragile Mental Retardation Protein. These proteins work in many tissues within the brain, ovaries, and testes. The FMR1 instructs these proteins to develop connections between nerve cells so that the cells can communicate. These proteins help regulate synaptic plasticity so that the connections between the cells continue to flow smoothly without decay. This is very important for the development of an individual since it is such a crucial influence to the learning and memory aspect of the brain. The messenger RNA serve as blueprints, telling the proteins where to go. These proteins help carry mRNA molecules from the nucleus to the areas of the cell where proteins are assembled. These molecules are important for the functioning of the nerves, ovaries, and testes. Within the FMR1, there is one particular DNA segment known as the CGG trinucleotide repeat, which is a segment of 3 DNA nucleotides repeated fewer than 10 to about 40 times. This segment is often interrupted by another 3 base sequence named AGG, whose job is to stabilize the repetition of CGG. For Bob, he functions a little differently compared to his friends. The DNA nucleotides in his DNA segment repeat from 200 to more than 1,000 times. This causes his FMR1 gene to be unstable, it having what could be described as a mental breakdown, shutting it down. Without a functioning FMR1 gene, proteins cannot be produced at a steady pace. The shortage of FMRP disrupts the function of nerve cells and the nervous system, causing severe learning problems, intellectual disabilities, and irregular actions that can't be stopped by free will. Yes, Bob is diagnosed with what is understood as the Fragile X syndrome. So what is it, really? Since his mother had the premutation of this gene, it was passed down and Bob developed the full mutation. Thankfully, it is not a life-threatening syndrome and the life expectancy of an individual would not be affected. Other than lifelong learning, sensory, and communication struggles, physical appearances such as longer face, short stature, larger ears, or enlarged testicles can be seen. He is a healthy boy and manages quite well since he had not developed any co-occurring conditions such as self-injury or seizures. It'd be greatly appreciated if Herbert Lubbs had come up with a magical potion to heal this in 1969 when he developed a chromosomal test for this syndrome after James Purden Martin and Julia Bell discovered this X-linked form of retardation in 1943. But hey, I guess we can't have everything, right? Bob tries his best. He tries very hard. But like everyone else, he's not perfect. Sometimes he may get upset for no reason whatsoever. He might not be able to sit still or stay still at times, or control an urge to sing a song. And really, he should start taking his classes more seriously. He can't really help it. That's just the way he is. Let's look at the bright side now. Bob is one of the nicest people on the face of this planet. The other day, he woke up early just to surprise his mom and dad by preparing coffee for breakfast. Even though his hands were a little shaky and might have left a bit of an aftermath to clean, his parents were touched beyond belief. And that other time he stayed in during lunchtime with Susie since she fell during recess and comforted her with a chocolate chip cookie. He was so excited to eat his cookie, but figured that Susie would have been able to appreciate more than he could. He even tried to push his friend Timmy on his wheelchair even though everyone knew that his muscles were underdeveloped. Bob, he's trying his best, and that's pretty perfect.